I want to talk to you about how to build business credit without using personal credit this year. Okay. A lot of entrepreneurs care about using their EIN instead of using their personal FICO score, using their social security when applying for business credit. And that's really important because in the long run, you want to run your business regardless of what's happening in your private life. Okay. So basically, when we talk about business credit without using personal credit, there are a few generalities I want you to really pay attention to. So let me first explain to you how this whole thing happens. So basically, many small business owners fail to consider business credit until they urgently need it. Let's say you need to get a business cash advance or a business loan or a business credit card. If you actually use your social security number, the that kind of limits the amount you can have because personal credit scores will limit your ability to get, let's say, 50 grand, for instance, on a business credit card. Okay. But if you were to use your EIN, you could actually get 6 digits in funding. Okay. So it's important for you to think right now, think about establishing solid business credit so that you can create a clear path to growth without risking personal finances. The whole idea here is what? The whole idea here is to actually not expose your personal social security number, okay, your personal credit score. And when you think about building business credit, you are actually laying the foundation, a strong foundation for future growth on, sorry about that, on a scalable manner. Okay. I want to insist on that. Scalability and sustainability are two important ingredients when it comes to a business credit. So, long story short, if you think about business credit, you are talking about your ability to use your company's social security number. That's called EIN. It's a type of, it's a 9 digit number, kind of similar to your social. Okay. And basically, it's, that's how your business is evaluated in terms of credit worthiness. That's how banks, credit unions, alternative lenders, online lenders will look at your business. So that tells a lot about your business, okay? And you keep your business credit score at credit reporting agencies such as Dun and Bradstreet, Equifax Business, and Experian Business. And in the top three credit rating agencies, only TransUnion doesn't have a business reporting arm. So if you want to build a business credit this year without using personal credit, everything starts with you registering your business entity. So I'm now giving you the step by step you need to take to actually make things happen on a scalable manner. So first of all, I don't care where you are at. I don't care the states where you are at. I don't care your county, your city, whatever. As long as you are in this United States of America, you want to really register your business entity, which means what? Which means I want you to really get away from sole proprietorship. I don't care. You might say, well, it's more flexible. I keep my independence. I keep my autonomy. Yes. But if you want to build business credit on a consistent basis, you want to register your entity. Even if you are a one-person business, you can still qualify for something called a single member LLC. Okay. So you can be a single member LLC, a single member limited liability company. That's really good because you retain the business structure while operating as a one-person business. So that's really good. Okay. So you need to really select an appropriate business structure for your industry, for your business needs. Okay. Every industry is different. Every business need is different. Okay. Maybe in your niche, it's just better to be an LLC. But in other niches, it's just better to be an S corporation or a C corporation or an LLP or an LLLP. Every industry is different. Okay. So you don't choose an employer identification. You don't choose a business structure just for fun. No, it has to really fulfill a certain criterion. Okay. So once you actually have a legal structure, what you want to do here is that you have to really apply for an EIN with the IRS. And applying for an EIN, an employer identification number with the IRS, is a straightforward process. You shouldn't really waste a lot of time on that process because unless you want to apply manually, okay. Otherwise, you can apply actually online, and the IRS will answer you. They will approve you within 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it can even take 5 minutes, okay, depending on the structure of your business. Okay, so you want to apply for an EIN real fast and do it automatically. You go online, you go to the IRS website, and you apply for an EIN. If you have questions about that process, let me know. And if for any reason you don't like the online process, because every business is different, and I respect that. If you say, oh, I don't think that I want to go through the online process, that's fine too. You can apply manually. There is a form called SS4, Form SS4, that allows you to apply manually. And the IRS will take 4 to 6 weeks to actually reply to you, but it's the same process anyway. So when I say register your business entity, it's important to understand that you have to register at various levels. You want to register with state authorities. You want to register with federal agencies. If you are in a regulated industry, you want federal authorities to know about your business. Okay, it's all about, let's say, solidifying the legitimacy of your business. You want lenders. You want net 30 vendors. You want other institutions to look at your company as a legit company. Okay, so when we talk about building business credit without using personal credit, you have to really beef up the legitimacy of your business so that lenders, potential lenders, will want to do business with your business and not with yourself as an individual owner. Okay, so once you register your business entity, you want to register for a Dun and Bradstreet number. So Dun and Bradstreet number is called DUNS. Okay, so this is actually DUNS number, and it is actually a pretty straightforward number. And the reason why you want to register with Dun & Bradstreet is because Dun & Bradstreet is the preeminent business credit reporting agency. They have a dominant presence here when it comes to business credit. Okay, if you're talking about personal credit, you don't have a dominant player. You have to actually work with TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian. But when you switch to the business space, you have a dominant player, and that's Dun & Bradstreet, DNB for short. Okay, so that's why you want to primarily register with them. Of course, later on, you can register with Equifax Business and Experian Business to get your business credit scores with them. You can also get something called an SBSS credit score, business credit score. This is another type of business credit score. But the bottom line is you want to start with Dun & Bradstreet, okay? So you want to go to their website and you want to register for a DUNS number. It is actually a unique 9-digit identifier that's assigned to your business. It's specifically assigned to your business, and this is how it's kind of similar to an EIN, by the way. Okay, this is how vendors can check your business credit score, for instance. Okay, and Dun & Bradstreet has a business credit score called Paydesk score, and your Paydesk score goes from 0 to 100, with 80 being a very decent business credit score. Anything above 80, you are really good. And when you actually are applying for a DUNS number, you will provide basic information, including name, address, phone number, and legal structure. So LLC, LLP, S corporation, C corporation, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and that's an important element. So you also may need to verify your business identity through their verification process, depending on your niche. And this number is important for establishing and building business credit separate from your personal credit. And registering allows Dun & Bradstreet to create and maintain your business credit file. And by getting a DUNS number early on in your business journey, your business can build a strong credit profile and open doors to financing, better supplier terms, and strategic partnerships. Now, once you go through the process, you have to further solidify the legitimacy of your business by setting up a dedicated bank account, business bank account. I want to insist on that. So when you go to Truist, when you go to Chase, when you go to Wells Fargo, when you go to Bank of America, when you go to PNC, when you go to US Bank, when you go to Fifth Third Bank, when you go to Huntington Bank, when you go to BMO Harris, whatever your bank is, when you go to TD, when you go to Capital One, make sure you have a dedicated business bank account, not just a bank account, because everybody can get a business bank account, but you want a dedicated business bank account because you want all revenue, all cash inflows and outflows that relate to the business to flow through that business. That's what dedicated means, okay? That way, because some lenders want you to connect to your business bank account so they can check your cash inflows and cash outflows. If you mix if you're mixing personal stuff in that business bank account, that's really bad. Okay, you are going to make the analysis, the evaluation, a little difficult, and you want to make things easier for lenders. Okay, so you want to open a bank account exclusively for business purposes, so that you can create clear financial boundaries between your personal finances and your businesses. Okay, and this segregation prevents you commingling actually funds, which can undermine your efforts to build independent business credit while complicating tax preparation and financial reporting. I mean, you do not like at tax time, if you are, let's say, writing off some expenses, you have to prove that those expenses are actually for business purposes. So if you're commingling stuff and you get an IRS audit, that would be a lot harder for you to prove that those expenses are legit, okay, for the business. So basically, one thing I want to say here is that if you have a dedicated business bank account, you are enhancing credibility with lenders and vendors who actually recognize the professionalism and legitimacy of proper business banking practices. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And many of the best business banking accounts have features specifically designed for commercial needs, including higher transaction limits, cash management tools, and integrations with accounting software. And these features support efficient financial management while creating the necessary infrastructure for building business credit independently, actually, of personal finances. Let me share with you a few strategies here. If you want to build business credit without using personal credit, once you register your business entity, you register for a Dun& Bradstreet account, a DUNS number, you set up a dedicated business bank account, you need to start establishing relationships with vendors. And those relationships are going to help you big time, okay? I mean, there are some vendors who like net 30 terms or net 45 terms. Some even will give you net 15 terms to start you with, okay? And they will see how you maintain your account, and then they'll bump you from net 15 to net 30 to net 45, net 60. That's really important, okay? Vendor credit represents one of the most accessible entry points for businesses building their credit. I mean, it's a lot easier for you to get business credit on a net 30 account than if you were to go to a bank and borrow, let's say, $50,000 or $100,000, okay? And the thing is that many suppliers offer payment terms that function as a short-term credit arrangement, typically structured as net 30, okay, that allows you to pay within 30 days after purchase. Please make sure that you comply with the interval they give you to pay the invoice. If they give you net 30, pay within 30 days, okay? So now the cool thing is that some vendors have credit programs that can help small business owners like you and me establish credit. So companies like Granger, Uline, and Quill can extend credit credit to startups with a minimal operating history. Okay, I have reviewed Granger on this show before, Uline also, Quill also. So through strategic vendor negotiation, so you can actually secure great initial credit arrangements, even if you're a startup. Okay, and this is kind of cool because this initial vendor relationships often require minimal qualifications compared to traditional lending sources such as banks, credit unions, and alternative lenders. Okay, so that's important for you to really stick to the payment plan. If they give you net 30, go with net 30. If they give you net 45, stick with net 45. That's the key. And you also want to try to get a business credit card without a personal guarantee. It's totally possible if you want to build business credit without using personal credit to get a business credit card without a personal guarantee. Now, you don't have a lot of them on the market, but you do have a few. You have Brex, you have Ramp, okay? And so Brex is a good one. You have Ramp also, but you have others. I've covered this on this show before, but this is pretty important. You also have Capital with Q, okay? The Capital credit card. And when you apply with those lenders, sometimes they will look at consistent revenue, operational history, and an existing business banking relationship. Okay, and and they will weight those providers will weight those factors more heavily than traditional credit metrics when evaluating no personal guarantee applications. So that's pretty good from a flexibility point of view. Really, really important. If you want to build business credit without using personal credit, you want to leverage financing from lenders and banks, okay? Don't exclude banks just because banks are more complicated. No. It's important to really understand that banks are your partners, but you have to know how to work with banks. One thing I want to tell you here is that you want to start with a bank where you are currently at. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. If you've been with Chase for 20 years at the personal level, and you just open a business bank account with them, leverage that opportunity. Okay, leverage that opportunity. You want to use that opportunity to actually to actually have business credit through them. Okay, you can also try business lines of credit. So instead of business loans, you can try business lines of credit. So what I'm trying to say here is that you have different funding programs, different loan programs, different business credit programs that you can try. If one is kind of harder for you to get, you can move on to the next one. Okay, that way you can see which one is a lot easier for you. Like a little earlier, I was telling you, having a net 30 account is a lot easier than actually getting a normal business loan, especially if you're a startup. Okay, so basically think about what kind of funding program works for you, and you have to also monitor and maintain strong business credit by regularly reviewing business credit reports. So your business credit reports at Dun and Bradstreet, at Equifax Business, at Experian Business, for instance, are a strong indication or a strong reflection of your credit worthiness at the business level, right? So you want to regularly review those to make sure there are no errors. Everything is actually straightforward. Everything is like sort of wonderful, like not wonderful. Everything is decent at least. Okay, so you want to really, some of those credit reporting agencies want you to pay a fee every single month to have access to your business credit reports. But hey, listen, that's really worth it. That's really worth it because you can write off those fees at year end. And having regular access to your business credit score is pretty good in terms of financial analysis. It tells you where you are at, and it tells you what kind of loans you can have with whom you can apply at. Okay. You also want to really make sure that you have consistent and timely payment practices in place. So if you want to beef up your business credit score over time, you've got to be pretty regular. Let me give you a few extras here. If you want to build business credit without using personal credit score, you want to really maybe think about corporate cards with no personal credit checks. Okay. I mean, this is a fast way to actually build business credit because those corporate cards want you to really repay the full amount that you charged on the card a year at not year at month end. So every month you have no possibility to roll over balances. You're paying balances right away. But the cool thing here is that when you are able to have that discipline to actually apply for a corporate loan and actually stick to the plan, to stick to the requirements of that credit card, this is really good. One thing I want to say here is that this is a great option for you to build business credit without using personal credit. Okay, and because a lot of those corporate credit card providers, they check your revenue. I think I've said this before. They check your revenue. They look at your bank relationships. They look at your balance sheets. Okay, they will look at your income statement, your balance sheets, and your cash flow statement to see where you are at. If you are a stable revenue provider, let me just call it that way. And also, just remember that when it comes to building business credit without using personal credit, if you are going for a business credit or a corporate card, you want to also look at the extras. Okay, this is not just a card that really gives you a certain limit that you have to pay at the month end, but look at the extra features they have. For instance, payment automation, expense management. A lot of those business credit card providers will give you expense management, okay, which is really powerful because it allows you to have control over your finances. You can track bills, you can track payment dates, and you can do this across one card, but across also multiple credit cards, for instance, if you have a employee credit cards, you have the possibility to get things done. And when I say payment automation, this is an important element because you can have an automated expense approval process to ensure the right people are signing off on every single payment, right? So you have the possibility to get things done a lot faster. So that's really good. So in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about how to build business credit without using personal credit. And basically, I give you the generalities, the steps you need to take, the strategies, and the extras. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.